So to get going, you're going to need a few things. You're going to need 30 developer. Most people like 40, but 30 is what I had, so that's what we're rolling with. BW2 actually bleaching powder. And then you're also going to need a little shimmer lights to help tone out any brassiness after you bleach the closure. And then you're also going to need some gloves. I love black ones. It's what I used to use in the salon, so that's just my go-to. You're going to need an applicator brush. It can be any kind. I just have the Annie one. That's what I found. And then you're going to need a little bowl to put your developer in. So here I have a 10-inch closure, and I'm actually going to bleach this closure for a wig that I'm making for one of my customers. And a little bit of foil. So I'm going to go ahead and put my gloves on first because I just don't want any chemicals on my hand. You want to protect the skin. You don't want to put anything on it that could possibly irritate it. I would say don't chance it. Some people do. I just actually choose not to do that. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to put 1 to 1.5 scoops of bleaching powder inside of your bowl. And because we're going to bleach a closure today, we don't need a lot. When you're actually bleaching frontals, you're going to need a little bit more powder than what you'll see me place in this particular bowl today. All right, so I have added my powder to it. I'm going to close my lid back up. Don't want to spill or waste any type of chemicals. They're expensive. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and flip our closure over and get ready. Now, I'm going to add the 30 developer. One thing that you want to keep in mind is it's going to be a little bit different if you're actually bleaching hair like for highlights and stuff like that, because you want the consistency to be thick whenever you're adding this to a closure or a frontal, because you don't want any of the developer and the powder to seep through on the closure, because it's just going to make it really hard to tone it back out. You can do it, but trust me, it's much harder. So what I'm doing is I've added just a little bit of developer. I'm going to add a little bit more because I really wanted to check the consistency, and I really want to monitor how much I'm putting in there, because I don't want it to be I don't want it to be runny. I want it to have a bit of a thick consistency to it. And so I normally will use like a little brown stick. It's the sticks that you'll see sometimes that they use in the nail salons or estheticians, what they use when they get ready to do your eyebrows, when they get ready to wax them, sorry. And that's normally what I would use to mix this, but today we're going to go ahead and use the end of this applicator brush, as they would say. We're going to thug it a little bit and we're going to make it happen. So as you can see, the consistency, it's not dripping off of the end. So for me, that means that it's going to be perfect for what I wanted to do and what I needed to be. And so I whipped it and mixed it, you know, kind of like if you whipping, mixing eggs or cake or whatever. Don't be afraid to use your wrist, the flick of the wrist. So what I'm doing now is I am lightly applying the powder and the developer to the closure. The video, I don't know if it may appear that I'm doing it a little bit rough, but I promise you I'm really using really light strokes. I'm trying not to press the developer and the powder down through the closure. I just want to put it on top. Just cover all of it. Take your time. There's no rush. There's no marathon. Whenever you get ready to prepare yourself to bleach a closure, a frontal, or make a wig or anything, you want to make sure that you're able to set aside the right amount of time to devote to this. If you're in a hurry, if you have something to do or somewhere to go, I would recommend you do it at a different time. It just works a lot better. The thing is, these things take time. The frontals, sometimes they can take 30 to 45 minutes to properly bleach. Closures a little bit less, but sometimes it can take the same amount of time. Just depends on the knots that are on the closure and everything. There's no easy way to do this. There's no type of closure that makes this easier or harder than the other. It's just a process regardless. So I'm almost done. I've pretty much covered the entire closure. Well, I have covered the entire closure almost up to this point. I'm just actually lightly going around the sides to make sure that everything has the same amount of consistency or where the product lays. because when my client parts her unit, I want her to be able to part it and it be the same all the way through. So I have my little piece of foil. Some people don't use foil, and that's okay. Just anytime that I'm ever doing anything dealing with coloring or bleaching, I always have foil. Foil helps to produce heat, so it will kind of speed up the process just a little bit. And I need a little help too, because I used a 30 developer. I didn't use a 40. 40 changes a lot faster. The reason why I use 30 is because that's what I had. I have a lot of 30s. So we've successfully bleached our closure. It came out nicely. So I just wanted to let you all know one thing. I did add some neutralizing shampoo to the closure after I washed out the developer and the powder. You just want to make sure that the chemicals fully stop processing, so it definitely doesn't hurt to do that step before you add your Shimmer Light shampoo to your closure. So what I'm doing right now is I'm adding some conditioner to the closure just to soften it out because we've used chemicals on the hair. I have my own hair care line, which is called a Charming Lady. This is amazing. It has a lot of oils built into the conditioner, but it doesn't weigh the hair down. It still makes the hair very, very lightweight. You have a coconut oil, argan oil. You have a little bit of shea butter, prickly pear as well, and argan oil that's been infused into the conditioner. So we're combing everything through. I mean, it changed nicely. I mean, this is what I do, so it looks really, really good. And for beginners, you all can do this too without a problem. It's not hard. It's very, very easy. So I have not done any plucking or anything to this closure yet, no detailing, but I will part it through to kind of show you all how it did change very, very nicely with the powder and the developer. As you can see, I lay it on my skin. So I'll upload another video later to show you all my detailing method and how I pluck my closures. And I'll do it in a way that I think it'll be best for beginners. Been doing this now for about 6 years. So it takes time to learn and to perfect it. We've all been there before, right? But everyone can definitely get to that great step. Thank you all for tuning in and have a great day.